Hi, I'm Brother Jeff, and I'm with the Marians of the Immaculate Conception, and this is Saints in Focus. Saint Maria Goretti was born on October 16, 1890, in Cornaldo, Italy. Her family moved to the farmlands of La Fieri, Italy. When her father died of malaria, her mother struggled to feed her children. Maria would cook, sew, clean the house, and watch over her younger sister, Teresa, while her mother, brothers, and sisters worked in the fields. The family's life was difficult, but they were very close to each other and loved God. On July 5, 1902, Maria was sitting on the steps outside of her home sewing one of her siblings' shirts. Also, living in the house with her family was her father's business partner's son, Alessandro Serenelli. He noticed Maria outside sewing and tried to seduce the young Maria. While Maria refused his temptations, Alessandro grabbed her from the steps and dragged her inside the home. He tried to rape her, but Maria fought back and cried out that it was a mortal sin and warned him that he would go to hell. When Alessandro persisted, she fought him and screamed, "No, it is a sin. God does not want it." Alessandro started to choke her, and she said that she would rather die than submit. Then he pulled out a knife and started stabbing her. Teresa woke to the sounds of her sister's cries and began to cry. Alessandro fled the home, and shortly after Maria's family returned. They found her bleeding on the floor and took her to the nearest hospital in Nettuno, where she had surgery without anesthesia. Her stab wounds were so severe the surgeon couldn't help. The next day, Maria expressed that she forgave Alessandro and wanted him to be in heaven with her. She died that day while holding a cross to her heart and looking at an image of Our Lady. Alexander was captured shortly after. He admitted Maria was a virgin as he was unable to assault her, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. While in prison, Alessandro had a dream that he was in a garden with Maria. She walked over to him and handed him beautiful lilies, which immediately burned to ashes in his hands. When he woke up from the dream, he converted. He repented for his crimes and lived a pious life. 27 years later, when he was released, he went straight to Maria's mother and begged her for forgiveness, which she gave, saying, "If my daughter can forgive him, who am I to withhold forgiveness?" The cause for her was opened after being credited for about 40 miracles after her death. She was canonized by Pope Pius XII in 1950 as the patron saint of forgiveness. At her canonization, in a ceremony at St. Peter's Basilica, her family was accompanied by Alexander Serenelli, who later became a lay brother of the Order of Friars Minor Capuchin. He lived in a monastery and worked as its receptionist and gardener until his death. Saint Maria Goretti is a role model for all of us to follow to Christ. Saint Maria Goretti, pray for us.